Hello friend, welcome back. In a previous video, I already discussed about that things with you, how can successfully insert all that your rules, okay, and also with the permissions. And here I inserted all the rules with the name, display name, the description, and also the multiple permissions. Okay, and here you can see I just defining as the rules, but here I just defining as a permission. So I just defining that in our controller. So if you go to that positions, that means the store controller, when this data will be the save, that it will be actually the roles. Okay, so the roles created successfully, this type of message will be visible on particular that area. So in this video I will discuss about how can edit that. If you click on the edit, then it should be redirected to the another page as the edit page. Okay, so before doing this, I want to add one of the link in particular that position. Okay, for doing this, like that is in our site navigation, like here if you go to the our admin layout, so that is actually the navigation. So into the navigation, that is a dashboard, that is our permissions. Right now I want to create new one, so here I just copy it, and here it is defining as rules. So I just defining as rules, and this page link will be here. I just defining it as a slash rules. So here I just defining it on particular that position, that means the list page, the back, and then the rules. And now I click on the save all, and now if you refresh that page, yeah, now you see that is actually the rules. So now if you click on the rules, then it should be redirected to our roles page. Perfect. So for now I want to create one of the page for the edit, like for the edit. Okay, like if you go to that position, so that is our rule folder. So here I want to create new file. Now click on the save as, and I just name it as edit dot blade dot php. So now I just save it, and into this page, like this page will be just look like our permission. There is a edit. Okay, it should be just look like the same. So better I just copy whole things from here, and I just paste that things in our edit blade page. So now here I want to actually customize that page as per our demand. Like that was actually the three, like there is three field, is the name, the display name, and the descriptions. So right now for this area I have the another field as a permissions, and now I just want to add another field like here, but I just copy it. Okay, and into this position I just paste that things on here. So that is actually the div, and then I just finish it. So now first of all, that is the level. For the level here, I just name the level as a permission. I just name it as a permission, and the display name for the level I just defining as a permission. Okay, here I just defining as a permission, and I just also assign one of the class on particular that area. And also for the another field, so another field here I already defining. Okay, like there is navigation, so we don't need this. So in our create page here, you can see I just define one of the form as a select form. So right now we have to actually create this type of form. So here I just defining as a select. So I just defining one of the form as a select form. And now first of all here we have to define our field name. So here I just defining our field name as a permission. Okay. And then also I have to get all the data, like if what exactly the things will be happened. Like before, if you go here, like that is our permissions. If you now refresh it, so here I already discussed about that things with you, how can edit it. So if you click on the edit, first of all the data will be visible on particular that positions, right? So we have to do the same things like here. When you click on the edit, all that author data will be visible, all that display name will be visible, description will be visible, and also the all that permissions, that means all that permission will be displayed as a selected. Okay, so now we have to do that work. First of all, we have to get all the things. So with the variables, so here I just defining it with the like before I did that type of work. Like here you can see I just get that things with the permissions. So for now I just copy it. So with this variable, so here first of all I want to display it on particular that area. Okay, and also there is actually permission will here I just define one of the array. So I just define one of the array, and now I get all the permissions from our database table. It should be loaded on particular that position, and now here it will be selected. Okay, like here if for the author one, now there is a permissions 2 and permissions Ariyan is now actually added on here. So when you click on the edit, so these two permission will be the selected, right? So for the reasons here we have to add another variable. So for now I just added one of the variable like I just defining it as a selected. Okay, selected permission. So we have to actually add all the things in our edit method, so I will do that things later. And now that is our class. So for now I already for this one, like if you go to the create, I already added some of the script and also added two of these in our bottom and the top. Okay, so right now I just want to do this copy all. Okay, I just click on the copy all and I just added that things in our edit page. So here before that I just added it. So you can also remove that things from here, but for education purpose, for better understanding, I am actually added that things on here. Okay, because I already loaded two of these in our bottom and the top page, so you don't need to add that things on here. But education purpose, for better understanding, I am just added on here. Okay, and also I just added one of the class on particular that position as a my class. So right now I want to access that class. So if you go to that positions, that is actually the class. Okay, and here I just defining that class name. So I just defining as a my class name, and also I want to display as a placeholder. So I just defining as a data and then place. Okay, I just defining as a placeholder, and this placeholder will be like as a select and then permissions. Okay, permissions, I just put that things with yes, then it's will be better. And here I also have to define that things as a multiple. Like in our create here, you can see I just defining that as a multiple because here I already inserted some of the multiple one of the permissions. So when you click on the edit, then two multiple permissions also will be the selected. For the reasons here I have to define as a multiple. So I just better copy it, and in our edit here after that I just define that as a multiple. I hope you can well understand about it, what exactly the things I do on particular that area. And then here we have to do like there is a we want to actually update it. For the reasons this you can see there is method as a put method. So now our model, so here I have to define as a role. Okay, so here I just define that role, and the route I just define one of the role update and the role ID. So here I just defining it. That is actually our form. Okay, and that is also showing all that message. So all the things is ready made on particular that area. So now we have to actually get all that name. We have to get the display name and the description and also the selected one of the permission. Okay, so we have to get it, and we get that things in our edit controller, like in our role controller. So here there is actually one of the method as a edit method. Okay, so now we have to work on particular that position. So for doing this, first of all I want to define one of the page name. Like here I just define as a page, and name I just name the page as a role edit. Okay, I just define as a role edit on here, like that is the role edit. And if you go to the edit page here, I already defined as our page name. I print it on particular that position. So here I just defining it. Okay, and also now I want to do, I just take one of the variable as a role, and I just defining it with our role model. Okay, with the role model, first of all I just want to find that ID. Okay, so here I already discussed about that things with you when I discuss about the permissions update. Okay, so now I hope you can well understand about it. So here we have to find that things with this ID. So here I just define that ID on here, and now I want to actually get all the permissions like before when I actually inserted it. Here maybe you can see when I created it. So here I defined that permissions with the flag with the name and the ID. So now we have to do the same things. Okay, so for now here I just defining it on here, and here I just defining with the one of the variable as a permissions, and now with the permission model I just flag the name and the ID. Okay, and also I used our role model, I use our permission model for the reasons I can actually access it. So for now here I just access two of this, and this permission here you can see in our edit page I already define as a permissions. That means here, okay, I just load that all permissions data from our permissions table and visible that things on here. Okay, I hope you can well understand about it. And now one things we have to do, like here I take another variable, I just take another variable as a selected permission. So now we have to actually work for this one. So when this data will be comes from our database permissions table, then automatically it should be the selected. Okay, so it should be the selected and visible that things in our role edit page. So for doing this, like here I just take that variable, and into this variable, first of all I just define that our db. Okay, and here I just define the db table. So here I'm using the db, so for the reasons we have to also load that things, like here I just define as use and then the db. So here I just loaded the db. Okay, so here I'm using it, and now I'm going back our edit page. So now with this table, I want to access our one of the table. Like if you go to that positions, that is the permissions role table. Okay, so now here I just copy that permissions role table, and here I just want to access it, that means here. And now I just put one of the conditions like where. Okay, I just define the where condition, and into the where condition, first of all here I have to define our table name. So here I just define that permissions role table, and here with this permissions role, here there is actually the permissions role table, and here you can see there is another field for this role id. So into this role id, here I assign all the permissions, right? So for the reasons I just defining on here that field as a role underscore id, and now it should be I just defining that things with our id, that the id I just find. Okay, so here I just defining that id on particular that position, and into this area I just want to flag. So here I just define the flag. So flag with which field? Okay, so here I have to define flag with our this field, that means this permission id. So here I just defining as that field name permission underscore id, and here we have to defining that things with the two arrays. So because we have to declare that things with the array, so here I just define the two array. I just defining it, and now after that I just want to return that page. Okay, so here I just define the return and return then our view page. So here I just defining that view page, because that means here that in our edit page I just want to return all that value on particular that positions, because here I already assign our this variable for get all that permissions data and also all that selected data, right? So for now I just want to do that work. For now there is a view, and then I will define as the admin and then the role and then our edit page. Okay, that means it should be redirected all the data without this particular that page. So here I just defining it, and also I want to compact. So here I just define that compact. Okay, compact, and here what exactly I pass from to this area, like I pass the page name. So here I just pass the page name for the reasons that page name will be work. Like here you can see I just print that page name. So I just pass all the things from here. Okay, like here there is a page name I have to pass, then I have to also pass the permissions, that means these permissions. Okay, and also I have to pass another one, I have to pass select permission. So here I just define that select permission. Also I have to pass our role, where actually I find all the data. So here I just define that role. Okay, I hope you can well understand about it. So from here I pass all the things, and in our this page I actually loaded all that field on particular that position. So now let's check this out. If everything okay, then it should be work. Okay, like I just click on the save all. Okay, I just click on the save all, and now here I already define one of the link. Like if you go to that positions in our edit, like in our list page maybe. Okay, in our list page we actually define one of the back and roles edit. So now we have to create one of the route for this one. Like here I want to create some of the route, like it should be just like edit. Okay, like here I already defined that for our permissions. For now I just copy it, and here I just defining it. Okay, for the one of the actually get, and another one is the put. So put is for the update, so I will do that work later. So right now I just want to do that should be the rules. Okay, rules edit, and also here I defining the id and admin. The now our controller name is actually rule controller, and with the rule controller I work in our edit method, and here you can see I just work in our edit method in our rule controller. And also there is a permission edit, so here I defining as a rule edit. Okay, so here I just defining as a rule edit, and that is for the edit. Okay, and another one is for the update. So we'll do that things later, but right now I just want to update it, the rules and the edit, and then the ID, uses, admin, and the role controller and the update method. So in our update method I have to work for the update. Okay, and it should be as a role update. So here I just defining as a role update. So I hope you can well understand about it, what exactly the things I did on particular that position. Now I click on the save all. First of all, I want to read all the data and visible that things as a selected, like I just refresh that page. And now I select that author one. Okay, for now click on the edit. So now here that is actually unexpected, this one in our that area permission, you can see that should be one of the comma. I did that wrong. Like if you go to the edit page and here that is actually the select. Okay, that is select permission, and here there should be some of the comma. Okay, and comma, then here I have to define our class. So now let's check this out. I just click on the save all. So in programming you have to actually face a lot of the time with the errors, so it's pretty much easy things. Okay, it's very much common. So if you want to be a programmer, then you have to face it. And here you can see it's now perfectly visible, all the things, like that is our rule edit, that is the name is now visible, the display name is visible, description is perfectly visible, and also the permissions. So for the author one I just defined the two permissions. Now you can see automatically these two permissions is now selected. I hope you can well understand about it. So now if you go to the roles again, now for this one, like that means the blogger, here there is a three permission. So now if you click on the edit, so now you can see there is a blogger, the description is blogger, and also three permission is now selected. I hope you can well understand about it. It's now perfectly work in our page. So in our next video I will show you how can work with the update method, like if you want to update the name, if you want to update the display name, the description, and also if you want to update the permissions. Okay, and if you click on the update, then it should be updated. So how can do that work? In our next video I will show you that things with the live example. So thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.